I may look calm now, but this was my reaction when I first saw the update about Mummy. Our Mummy, the one we grew up with, coming back for a fourth part. Yes, after decades of waiting and anticipation, the beloved action trilogy that kicked off in the late 90s is getting a follow-up. Back in February 2026, we learned that Universal Pictures had scheduled the movie for a May 19, 2028 worldwide theatrical release. The movie is being directed by Radio Silence's Matt Bettinelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillett, and Olpin said, all of the heart and the character that you could hope for. And if there's one person we got to thank for this, is the duo's longtime producer, William Sherak. While they were finishing Abigail, William informed that he was going to try for the next Mummy movie, and the directors thought, that'd be fucking crazy. There's no way William's going to pull it off. But as it turned out, they actually found themselves meeting the writer, Dave Coggeshall, and designing a pitch right after finishing Abigail. While the plot of the film is being kept under the wraps, much like a mummy, pun intended, we do have a list of the returning and new stars who have joined the cast of Mummy 4. Let's check them out. Brendan Fraser. Back in 2022, the Academy Award-winning actor Brendan Fraser talked about Tom Cruise's Mummy and told Variety, "It is hard to make that movie. The ingredient that we had going for our Mummy, which I didn't see in that film, was fun. That was what was lacking in that incarnation. It was too much of a straight-ahead horror movie. The Mummy should be a thrill ride, but not terrifying and scary." He even said, "I don't know how it would work, but I'd be open to it if someone came up with the right conceit." Cut to 2026. Fraser appeared on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, said that he was always hopeful about returning for a fourth part in the Mummy franchise, and continued, "What we're going to do is saddle back up, go back to the locations. I should probably stop talking like this before I give anything away. However, I know that. Please wish me luck. I'm doing my best to get this 57-year-old gear in shape." Fraser clearly cannot hold his excitement to get back to his iconic role of Rick O'Connell, and said that he even visited the Mummy ride at the Universal Studios to tap into the character's energy, and even showed the audience a photograph where he was on the roller coaster. He assured us that Rachel Weisz, too, would be returning. He continued, "Well, we're going to get the band back together, the only way to do it, right? So we're going to give the audience what they have been bothering all of us for the last 20-whatever years." Absolutely can't wait to see Fraser take on the role of our beloved adventurer and navigate the Egyptian landscape. Rachel Weisz. Weisz is an absolute sweetheart, and ever since she played the Cairo librarian and Egyptologist Evelyn Carnahan back in 1999, she won our hearts forever. The British actress has bagged an Academy Award and BAFTA throughout her career, and last appeared as Melina Vostokov in Marvel's Black Widow of 2021. While Rachel has not yet spoken up about her involvement in Mummy 4, the director said that the only reasons Fraser and Weisz are ready to reprise their role is because they have a banger script, and that it is really, really beautiful and scary and sweeping, and it's awesome. Gillett continued, "I don't think Brendan and Rachel are getting involved unless they love that script, and what they read, I think they really liked. And it's a good script. It's going to be fun to make." Also, bringing back Rachel Weisz means that the Abigail, Ready or Not, and Scream 6 famed directors are not considering The Tomb of the Dragon Emperor as canon for this film, and when asked about it, they simply replied, "Well, Rachel is in this one. That should answer the question for you." Though we don't have anything direct from Rachel's mouth, her involvement is confirmed, and in fact, the actor has been open to come back for a Mummy movie for a long time. Back in 2005, she told IGN, "Sure, get the family back together again. Why not?" when asked about whether she would want to return for a sequel. Oded Fehr. Talking of family, when Fraser and Weisz are returning for Mummy 4, how can the movie feel like a true reunion with Oded Fehr's Ardeth Bay? Fehr recently appeared in the biblical drama House of David, and currently recurs on Apple TV Plus's Your Friends and Neighbors. He's also recently been seen on Star Trek, Starfleet Academy, and Star Trek Discovery, and is also repped by innovative artists. In the Mummy movies, he was the Magi chieftain and warrior who dedicated his life to protecting Hamunaptra and preventing the resurrection of Imhotep. And over time, he became a trusted ally and close friend of the O'Connell family, fighting alongside Rick and Evelyn and even helping guide their son Alex during the events of The Mummy Returns. And you know what? The Mummy never really left Oded's heart, because back in 2001, he reprised his role as Ardeth Bay for a comedic Mummy parody at the 2001 MTV Movie Awards, joining Jimmy Fallon and Kirsten Dunst for the opening skit. Oded has returned to Mummy 4 as Ardeth Bay, and the actor has even shared an update on his Instagram on August 4th, which showed a clip of Ardeth from the original movie before transitioning to a now 55-year-old Oded sitting in a makeup chair. Sporting a short haircut, a neatly trimmed beard, and his iconic face tattoos, the silver-haired Ardeth Bay doesn't look any less dashing, even before Mummy 4 was confirmed. Fair had shared his excitement to work together with Fraser and Weisz again and said, "Seeing everybody again, it's like, my God, I'd be the most blessed human being to get to work with these guys again." With Ardeth coming back, we can make an educated guess. See, he was missing from the 2008's The Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor because his character would not have made much sense without the big bad high priest of Osiris, Imhotep. Now, since he is going to appear in Mummy 4, it's right on our faces that Imhotep's threat will be back, and nothing can work as a better time machine for millennial kids. Kevin J. O'Connor. I don't think we can ever forget Kevin J. O'Connor's portrayal of the cowardly and deceitful treasure hunter, Benny Gabor, frantically showing one religious pendant after another while trying various Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, and Hindu prayers before finally finding a Hebrew prayer and the Star of David, which saved him when he was cornered in a dark chamber by the mummy. When we last saw Benny, it seemed like he was done for after he got trapped inside the tomb with a swarm of flesh-eating scarabs coming straight for him. But hey, this is the mummy we're talking about, so, of course, death and life are not exactly absolute concepts in the franchise. We don't yet know whether O'Connor would be returning as the alive Benny or as a resurrected being. It's also possible he might appear in some flashback sequences. Arnold Vosloo. Yep, just as I mentioned a little earlier, Imhotep will indeed be back in Mummy 4. Actor John Hannah, who played the role of Jonathan Carnahan, Evelyn's brother, has told the Italian magazine Sherak in June, "Arnold Vosloo, a very good friend of mine, will also be returning. He is currently finalizing the agreement from Cape Town, where he resides." So it's pretty much confirmed that Imhotep might very well be returning after all these decades, and honestly, that is a huge deal, bro. Imhotep is a cornerstone of the franchise and has been the villainous face of the first two movies. In the original, he was the disgraced high priest who returned from the dead after centuries of being mummified to try and resurrect Ankhsu-Namun. Then, by the time we got The Mummy Returns, he was back with an even more malicious agenda, which involved the army of Anubis and the Scorpion King. Basically, if you think about the Fraser-era mummy movies, Arnold Vosloo's Imhotep is synonymous with them. So seeing him return, after all, would be a major nostalgia hit. However, given the director's mention that the new movie will be more than just a nostalgia bait, we should be prepared to see a different side of Imhotep if he indeed returns, or maybe accept a new antagonist who would be somehow tied to him. John Hannah. John Hannah himself would also be returning for Mummy 4. Yep, Evelyn's hilarious and absolutely unreliable brother, without whom neither the O'Connells nor us can imagine a mummy movie is set to return for the next part. Hannah has always been excited about the possibility of reprising his role as Jonathan, and earlier this year, when all we had were just rumors of Mummy 4, he told Radio Times that he had heard and seen the rumors same as everybody else, before adding that it would be fun to do and that he would love to hook up with everybody again. And it looks like he has finally got his wish. Hannah is now officially back and is reuniting with Fraser and Weisz. And honestly, I can't wait to see what Jonathan does this time around, because his hunger for treasure and all the antics has made him such an important part of the original movie's charm. And his return also means that we could be getting that same comedic charm that worked so well for the first two movies. Curiously enough, Hannah's joy for this reunion goes beyond reprising his role as Jonathan, because he has been holding the Mummy too close to his heart for all these years. He even said that Kevin J. O'Connor, calling him a fantastic actor, recalled the emotional moment when he unexpectedly ran into his old co-star at a convention. The two hugged and was joined by Brendan before O'Connor took part in their panel. Numan Ajar. You might recognize the name Numan Ajar for appearing as Dimitri in Spider-Man: Far From Home. Ajar is a Turkish-German actor who first gained recognition with American audiences as Haysam Haqqani in Showtime's Homeland. He also appeared in films like Desert Warrior, and more recently, Ajar has been seen in Amazon's Young Sherlock and Netflix's Legends. Represented by D2 Management and Accelerate, Ajar has proved himself to be a great performer with Terrence Malick's The Way of the Wind and the Liam Neeson action thriller The Fix among his upcoming releases. He would be a newcomer to the Mummy franchise, and his role is being kept confidential. Michael Johnston. Yes, believe it or not, the latest casting news for The Mummy 4 has also revealed Obsession star Michael Johnston as part of the movie's ensemble. Variety has confirmed that Johnston is in talks to join the fourth part, and after previously appearing in Teen Wolf, he has become the talk of the town after playing the role of Bear in Curry Barker's 2026 horror film. He has been tight-lipped about the update, and when asked about whether he has joined the Mummy 4 cast on Collider Ladies' Night, he answered in a roundabout way and said, "I just think that what they've been doing lately is so fresh that a franchise like The Mummy, like bringing that new kind of energy into the mix with this classic thing. I think that when I heard that they were directing it, I was like, oh, interesting. And then I actually, when I heard about that, I went back and watched the first Mummy, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember why I watched this movie 20 times when I was a kid. And I've been thinking about how they're going to take the classic kind of Mummy story and put that spin on it and kind of subvert expectations. So that would be really exciting. Oh boy, that's an interesting choice, The movie is being produced by William Sherak, James Vanderbilt, and Paul Neinstein through Project X Entertainment, and boy, they have a star-studded credit list spanning Nuremberg, the Scream franchise, and The Night Agent. Clayton Townsend is also on board as a producer, while Brendan Fraser, Hive Mind's Jason F. Brown, and Dennis Stewart will serve as executive producers. The Mummy 4 has been postponed and is now set to release on October 15th, 2027, and I am already counting days. Let us know how excited you are about this movie in the comments below, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.